Is Coloured Raine's Botanical Collection really worth our coins? Let's try it and find out. Hey, Max and Mavericks, come on in. It's time for another Real Deal review. Today's Real Deal review is going to be of the Coloured Raine Botanical Collection. This collection was just released about 3 weeks ago, so it's fairly hot off the press. Coloured Raine was founded in 2013 by Lorraine Dowdy, who is a Caribbean woman and a Brooklyn native. This brand was founded to address diversity and inclusivity in the beauty industry, or the lack thereof. So the brand was developed with an emphasis on products that are hyperpigmented and perform well across all skin tones, allowing us all a new level of self-expression using cosmetics. And that's very much evident in the types of products that Coloured Raine carries. Coloured Raine focuses mainly on color products. They do have face products like blush, which is kind of teetering that line, highlighters and bronzers of that sort, but their big calling cards are their eyeshadow palettes that are well pigmented and very expressive, and their vast array of lip products. I would kind of call this brand a sleeper brand. It's not small. I mean, it's carried online via their website. It's also carried by Lord and Taylor. They've even done some collaborations recently. For instance, they did a partnership with Stars, the network Stars, to do a collection inspired by the television show Power, which is really neat. But it's not a brand that you see just plastered everywhere across shelves. So I stumbled upon Coloured Raine maybe last year or year before in my quest to find new brands to support, to find more Black-owned brands to support. And I ended up buying their Juicy Boost palette. So this was the palette, and I was just really struck by the packaging on here and how cute it was. It's inspired by Lorraine Dowdy's love of juicing, and you can see that here evidenced by the color story. Hopefully you guys can see that pretty well. All of those nice, very saturated brights. Also, I bought a lip lacquer, a cherry colored lip lacquer that is now probably my favorite gloss red in my collection. Yeah, it's probably my favorite gloss red in my collection. So it's a brand that I have enjoyed and kept on my radar. But what stopped my scroll a couple of weeks ago was the Botanical Collection. I saw the eyeshadow palettes in this collection and the swatches, and I'm like, yeah, I really want that. So I went to the website and I saw both palettes and I couldn't decide which one I wanted. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and get both of them. Then I kept looking and I saw the blush. I'm a sucker for a nice blush, and I couldn't decide which color to get. So I said, I'll go ahead and get both of those too. Then I saw the lip colors in this collection, and I'm like, wow, those are some nice, soft, wearable neutrals that are good for every day, and they would work so well in concert with these eyeshadows and these blushes I'm about to buy. So I went ahead and got the entire Botanicals collection. The entire collection together retails for $116 regular price. I bought it for $100. By the way, Coloured Raine takes Afterpay. So I got the entire collection, which consists of 2 eyeshadow palettes, 2 cream blushes, 2 lip liners, 2 satin lipsticks, 2 matte liquid lips, and a clear gloss. So y'all know what time it is. It's time for a swatch party. Let's start with our eyeshadow palettes, shall we? So the Botanical Collection, the Botanical Color Eyeshadow Palette is advertised as just that. Both of these palettes have 3 mattes and 3 fulls. So I'll open that up, and here's what that looks like on the inside. It's got your 3 mattes here and your 3 fulls. Let's go ahead and swatch these. So this is Primavera, and hopefully y'all can see this well. It's kind of a gold, I won't say a rose gold, but it's a gold with like a pink undertone to it. And it's kind of soft to the touch. There it is. Then there's Iberis, which is this color. And it's kind of a mauve. Okay. Then there is Hydrangea, which is a gold green. There's Leonidas, which is kind of a peachy brown. And last but not least, if I can find a clean, no, we still got 2 more colors. Rose gold, which looks purple in the pan. It really does look purple in the pan, but it is very much rose gold to the touch. And then last but not least, if I can find a clean finger right quick, is Cream Gerber, or Gerbera, I guess after the daisy, which is a soft peach cream. And those are the 6 colors, the 3 mattes and the 3 fulls in the Botanical palette. Okay, then there is the Rose Garden palette, which is advertised as a pressed pigment palette, but it only has 1 pressed pigment, which is the color Chocolate Rose. So here's this palette. You've got your 3 fulls at the top and your mattes at the bottom. I'll swatch the mattes first. This is Chestnut Rose, which is more of a peach, like a light peach. Okay. Chocolate Rose, which is the pressed pigment. Hopefully you guys can see these. Let's see here. Rosewood, which is kind of like a darker peachy brown. And then on to our fulls. There's Bronze Rose, which is exactly what it sounds like. That's pretty. And then Gold Rose, which looks like a true rose. Not true rose, a true gold. And then last but not least, if I can find a clean finger, is Emerald Rose, which is this color. It's like almost a teal green. So those are the 3 mattes and the 3 fulls. So from first swatch, I feel like the colors in this palette are a little bit darker or more like rich than the one in the Botanicals palette, but we'll see what happens when I actually use them. Those palettes retail for $16 a piece or $25 together as the eyeshadow bundle. Now we have our cream blushes. The first one is Copper Rose, which is kind of a peach color. Can y'all? Hopefully you all can see that because I'm having trouble seeing it on camera. So this one to me is kind of a true pink. I don't know that it will necessarily work for me, but we'll see. And then we have Stiletto Rose, which is kind of this red color. Which is a little bit more vibrant on my brown. So those are the 2 cream blushes. Right now, the formula for this seems a little bit thin in terms of like pigment to carrier ratio. But again, that's just first swatch. We'll see what happens when I actually put it on. Then there's the lip products. Let's look at our liners. There are 2. This one is Decadent. Yes, Decadent, which is a brown. That's Decadent. And then there is Queen Tings, which is kind of a plum color. Interesting. So this color Queen Tings, I expected to be lighter than this brown Decadent, but it is not. It is actually the darker of the 2. Then we have our Satin Lips. I'm actually going to swatch my other arm. This one is Sugar Rose, which is a true pink. And then we have our second one, which is Lotus, which looks like a brownish pink. It's kind of more of a mauve, dusty rose type color. And for our liquid lips, Peach Rose, which is probably what it sounds like. Yep. And last but not least for the lips, Mauve Rose, which looks like it's gonna be a pale pink. We'll see. Yep. It's very much a pale pink. So the kinds of nudes that you would wear with a nice dark liner. So with that being said, those are the swatches. I told you guys how much the eyeshadows were. Each one of the cream blushes retails for $12, and each one of the lip colors, I think the liners are $12 and the lip glosses are $10. But I'll put the link to the collection in the description box so that you can go check them out for yourself if you would like. Also, like I said, I got the whole bundle for $100, which is really good for everything together. But there is an eyeshadow bundle. There's a lip bundle for $60 where you can get all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the lip products together for that discounted price as well. So, you know, there's options if you want more than one item to get them at a discounted price. So with that being said, let's play a little bit and see how these products actually perform. So I also bought the Coloured Raine paint base eyeshadow base. Comes in 4 different colors, white and this color rope that I bought, as well as 2 other more skin toned type primers. So I'm going to start with that. This video may end up being a voiceover when it's said and done, because I can't walk, talk, and chew gum at the same time. But we'll see. Okay, so I can already tell that a little of this goes a long way. So I'm just gonna blend out what's there with a synthetic brush. If I need to add some more, I will, but I'm gonna tread lightly before this gets out of hand. So let's start there. Then I'm going to take a eyeliner pencil, just a regular eyeliner pencil, and I'm gonna sharpen it first. All right, so first things first, take an eyeliner and line my eyes. And this is a waterproof pencil, so I'm going to work one eye at a time. Take a flat blender and blend that out. I actually did this backwards, so working quickly, I'm going to take a small eyeshadow brush, and I think I'm going to start in Rose Garden with the shade. Actually, I'm gonna start in Botanicals with the shade Leonidas here. And work that across where I want my crease to be as my transition shade. And it was at this moment I lost a long, significant piece of my footage. but nevertheless, we persist. Okay, so we're gonna try this again, do something ever so slightly different than what I planned. So here we go with our paint base once again in rope. And since we know better, we'll do better. And I'll do just a little bit of that on each eyelid and blend. And don't mind me, I'm pretty sure my mom called me while I was filming this, and when mama calls, you answer. And once again, I think I'm gonna take that same flat brush, go into the shade Leonidas, and I am going to try to place that color sort of kind of where I want my crease to be, not necessarily where it actually is. And I did that out of order. I really did, but I'll go back and fix it later. I'm gonna try to make sure I go all the way across toward the inner corner of my eye because I want to do a different shape here. I'm also working a little bit of that same shade onto the outer corner and blending it. So I went back in Leonidas and now tapping that same brush into Rosewood from the Botanical palette to kind of mix those two colors together to ever so slightly deepen that shadow a little bit and blend the two together. And I'm also applying this to the inner corner of my eye because I want more of a halo. Now this time, because it was daytime, I wanted to use a dark brown waterproof pencil. For what it's worth, this is a Ruby Kisses pencil as opposed to the Absolute pencil that I used before. And it's a little bit harder to work with. So it didn't really give me the effect that I was necessarily looking for, but it did what it needed to do. It's totally okay. So I took my flat brush and began to smudge it. This is actually my favorite way to create a soft winged eyeliner these days. You just gotta have a soft enough pencil to move that pencil around. You saw before how easy it was for me to take that waterproof pencil and do that, but it's a different story. So now I'm taking a small detail brush into the shade Chocolate Rose, and because it's a pressed pigment, I am tapping that shadow where I want it to be, and I'm going into Rosewood and Chocolate Rose with my bullet blending brush and blending that shade out into my crease. And then I just went into Chocolate Rose by itself and just tapped that into the outer and inner corners where I want this to be darkest. I am also applying a little bit more of that shade all the way across my crease to start to try to define it a little bit more. So I'm going back into Rosewood once again to blend that out a little bit and break up some of the harsh lines around that Chocolate Rose color. Now I'm going back into Leonidas and I'm putting it right inside of The darker colors I put on the inner and outer color. Now I'm taking Chestnut Rose, which was supposed to be my transition shade, and I'm tapping it into the empty space in the middle of my upper lid to kind of make a base for the full that I want to put on top of it. And here I am adding a little bit where it should have been before, but it's okay. It is okay. So I'm gonna actually apply my full shadow, I believe that's Bronze Rose, wet. I feel like after having tried it the first time that it applies a little bit better wet, so I'm just using a flat synthetic brush that I sprayed with setting spray to help get it on there a little bit better to prevent some of the fallout as well. And I'm going back in with Leonidas, the color that was in these spaces before, just to blend everything together. And I'm cleaning up my crease again with the Chocolate Rose Pressed Pigment. And now I will line my lower lash line with my brown waterproof pencil. Okay, so normally I would drop my eyeliner halfway across. I think that's what I did here, but this pencil just is not cooperating. And I'm pretty sure I used rosewood on my lower lid and lower lash line. Sorry I didn't show you guys that. So now it's time for blush, and I'm using the shade Copper Rose, and since it's cream, I'm just patting it onto my cheekbones and blending it with my finger. Most of the time I'll still use a synthetic brush to do this, but today I just didn't feel like it. Well, isn't that cheeky and fresh? So let's do the lips. I'm gonna line with Decadent, which is the brown shade of the two liners. And quiet as is kept, I'm not 100% sure why I did this right here, but I'm taking my liner brush and blending that line out a little bit. And to be honest, I don't use lip liner that often, and when I do, I rarely take a lip brush to it because I know it's not something I can duplicate while I'm out. So I am going in with Sugar Rose. I believe I used Sugar Rose. And a little bit of the Peach Rose Matte Liquid Lip. This is totally overkill, but I really wanted to make sure I tried all of the lip products. So I've just kind of smacked them together, and I'm just going to try to blend that a little bit further. And to be super extra, I'm going in with a little bit of the Are We Clear gloss. So thanks y'all for indulging me with that attempt at a redo. I did a little different look than what you saw me starting with and what you'll see in a second. But I thought it was really important for you to see me actually work with some of these products and kind of look at it real time. So I'm gonna bring you back to my synopsis. Yeah, see you in a second. So all in all, just looking at the Coloured Raine products on my face, I was kind of surprised at how light the eye colors went on, especially that pressed pigment. Given that it is a pressed pigment, I was expecting it to be really, 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 really vibrant, but it's still very nice. The formula for the most part in these seems decently blendable. I will say of the shades I used, let's see, I used Leonidas, I used Rosewood, I used Chocolate Rose. Those were 2 mattes, the pressed pigment, and I used Primavera, one of the fulls. I was expecting the fulls to be like the runaway winner, but I like the way the mattes behave personally. I don't mind wetting my full eyeshadows, but I don't always want to do that. And I feel like with that particular one, it either needs to be used wet or it needs to be used on top of something else. But I think it worked out pretty well. Y'all let me know what y'all think. As far as the blush is concerned, it is pretty. I think that it is somewhat buildable. It doesn't go on to this, but that's not always necessary. I think it's a good, fresh, light blush for when you don't necessarily want to look done. Also, I stand a blush that is like true orange or even closer to red. You don't get like this color red often that works well on skin my color. So I'm not mad at it. I give it a pretty good. My runaway favorite though in this collection, surprisingly, is the lips. While I'm sitting here, kiss test. So this paper towel might be too light for you guys to see. Let's see. I don't know if you guys can see that well, but if you notice, the lip liner and the satin came off a little bit, but there is absolutely nothing where this liquid lipstick should be, okay? The website claims that the liquid lipsticks are mask proof, and that's a pretty good indication that it will be, which is yes. I'm all for that. So, all in all, I would give this collection a mighty fine. The colors, what really caused me to gravitate to this collection and go ahead and buy it all together is the color story and how well the colors work together. I'm not a big fan of pinks and things that are soft and cuddly and delicate. But these colors together, the combinations of golds and pinks and even the greens, is very romantic. And it's great for looks that you want to be soft and romantic. An everyday look. Not every palette has to give you date night, going to the discotheque to be cool, you know? There's a place for all that, but there's also a place for colors and collections that are wearable, that you can, look soft and beautiful. So I appreciate that about this Collection. Of the two eyeshadow palettes, I still think I'm going to be reaching for Rosewood a little bit more than I am Botanical. And, you know, using some other shadows with these. You don't have to use them exclusively. But overall, I think if I had to buy this collection again, I probably would. It's going to be pretty versatile. It's going to be things that I can reach for all year round. Because, I mean, these are nice, kind of cool winter colors, but they're also very much spring and Easter and all of that good stuff. So, if you have tried this collection or intend to, let me know your thoughts. I would love to hear from you, and let me know what's on your wish list. And I will see you all for the next one. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, do what you love what you do, and keep at it. And I will see you later. Bye-bye.